Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Gurur Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shuklam Baradharam Vishnum, Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam, Prasannavadanam Dhyayet, Sarva Vignopashantaye. Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada Apadamapahartaram Dataram Sarvasampadam Lokabhiramam Shriramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyaham Buddhirbalam Yashodhairyam Nirbhayatvam Marogita Ajadyam Vakpatutvam Cha Hanumat Smaranat Bhavet Tam Suryam Jagatham Natham Jnana Vijnana Mokshadam Mahapapaharam Devam Tam Suryam Pranamamyaham Gurave Sarvalokanam Bhishaje Bhavaroginam Nidhaye Sarvavidyanam Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Vagarthaviva Sampraktau Vagartha Pratipattaye Jagatah Pitarau Vande Parvati Parameshwarau Yadaksharapadabrashtam Matrahinam cha yad bhavet Tat sarvam kshamyatam Deva Narayana Namostute Kayena vacha manasendriyairva buddhyatmana va prakrite svabhavat Karomi yadyat sakalam parasmai narayanaayeti samarpayami. Astu. So, we were doing the kArakam in the last class. Any questions? Narmada Bhagini, any questions? You can raise.
No.
No. Okay, no problem. So shall we continue?
Yes.
So here, the kArakam, we were looking at Swatantra Karta. Swatantraha Karta. Kriyayam Swatantriyena Vivakshitaha Arthaha Karta Syat. Iti Sutrarthaha. So here Vivakshitaha, that is an important word that is to be noted. Meaning
Shamatam Bhagini, page number?
4, page number 4 of the Karaka book.
Thank you.
So here Vivakshitaha, we have to, consider this word importantly, because whatever the speaker intends to show as the Karta, okay, that will get the Kartrikarakam. So why like that? Say, for example, we were discussing this example, Sthali Pachati. Sthali Pachati means the vessel itself is cooking. Agnihi Pachati. So here in these sentences, why we are using the Sthali and Agni as Karta? Why are we projecting, or why are they being projected as Karta? Sometimes that is the intention of the speaker. Say, for example, no matter how hard you try, when the vessels are not proper, the cooking does not happen as we desire. The outcome of the cooking will not come like how we would want it to in the best way. When the vessels are really, perfect or suitable for the kind of cooking, then the cooking happens without much effort. To express that, in that particular case, the Vakta would like to say that Sthali Pachati. Similarly, Agnihi Pachati. Sometimes the fire will not, come along. Back in the days, they used firewood to cook, right? So, but when the fire is, perfect, like how much ever is needed for the cooking to happen, it happens so beautifully. So in such cases, so it is always important to note that the intention of the speaker. So we should not always think only the practically who is cooking, he only need not be the karta. Sometimes, depending on the intention of the speaker, even the other things which would have been, the sthali would have been in the locative case. Sthalyam annam pachati, right? And Agni. Agni would be kArakam. It is used as an instrument to cook. But here it is being projected as karta. So such things can happen depending on the vivaksha of the speaker. So that we have to keep in mind. Anantaram, swatantriyam nama vyaparashrayatvam. Evancha vyaparashrayah karta iti phalitartha. Vyaparashrayah. So here a kriya is happening. And we studied that for every kriya, we have two arthas. One is the phalam and the second one is vyapara. This also you focus to understand the difference between the phalam and vyapara. Vyapara is the actual action happening. So if you are doing the action of cooking, gathering the firewood, lighting the fire, putting the vessel, pouring water in it, all these are considered as vyapara. Who is the ashraya of this vyapara? The karta. Because he is the one who is doing all these kriyas. So for this vyapara, the ashraya means where or who is doing this. The ashraya, adhara for this vyapara is the karta. So vyaparashraya karta iti phalitartha. That is the meaning of this. So swatantriyam nama vyaparashrayatvam. So swatantriyam means independently, being able to do the kriya independently all by himself. That pradhanyata also is there, another meaning. So dhatvartha, phalam vyaparaha cha iti uktam. So dhatvartha means dhatu can be explained in two ways. One is phalam, the other one is vyaparaha. So this has been told. Iti uktam. Tatra vyaparasya yaha ashrayah saha karta bhavati. Right? Who is the ashrayah of this kriya, of this vyapara? He is known as the karta. So sudaha pachati. Udaharanam. Pach dhatoho artaha. Kim paka kriya. Paka vyapara. Sa kriya kutra asti, that paka vyapara, like I said, gathering the firewood, lighting the fire, putting the vessel on it, pouring water, also putting the rice in it or whatever vegetable, in between mixing it. All these actions are called vyapara. Kutra asti, sude asti. Sudaha pachati. Here sudaha is a person. So it is sude asti. Tatha cha pakakriyayaha ashrayah sudaha. So the pakakriyas ashraya, the ashraya of the pakakriya is sudaha. Ataha sudaha karta. Yatha balaha khadati. So we are on page number 4 of the Karaka book, Bhagini. Balaha khadati. Khad dhatoho arthaha bhakshana kriya. Right? Eating, the action of eating. What does the action, the vyapara of the action of eating, what does it involve? Putting the khadana padartham in the plate, washing your hands, taking the food with your hand, putting it in the mouth, chewing it, swallowing it. All these are actions of the khadana kriya. Sa kriya bale asti. Who is doing all these actions? Balakaha or balaha. So the ashrayatvam of this kriya is in the balaha. So ataha kriyayaha ashrayaha balaha. Ataha balaha karta. Vatuhu likhati. Lik dhatoho arthaha lekana kriya. Sa kriya vatau asti. So vatuhu likhati. So vatuhu is like a boy. He is writing. So again, lekhana kriya. What is the vyapara of lekhana kriya? Taking a pen or pencil, taking a book or a slate, and then, putting together your fingers to write, and whatever thinking, whatever you want to write, you have to think first. So all these actions are called vyapara. Lekhana kriyayaha vyaparaha. Sah vyaparaha kutra asti? vate asti. Ataha vatuhu karta. Vatau asti, vatuhu. It is ukaranta, so vatau asti. Ataha lekana kriyayaha ashrayah vatuhu. Ataha vatuhu karta. Suryah prakashate. Dhatvartah prakashana kriya. Sa kriya surye asti. That kriya, that glowing, that prakashanam is happening within, that kriya is happening within Surya, right? So, ataha prakashana kriyayaha ashrayah suryah. Ataha suryah karta. Like how we discussed in the last class, phalam patati or parnam patati. When we say this, and if I ask you who is the karta, initially we'll hesitate little to tell who the karta is, because we always think karta should be a person. Not necessarily. Wherever the kriya is, that is karta. Dhatoho ashrayah or vyaparasya ashrayah putra asti. That we have to think. So here in the patana kriya, the action of falling down is happening within the fruit, right? The fruit, the phalam eva ashrayah patana kriyayaha. Ataha phalam karta. Similarly, parnam karta. Okay. So though they are lifeless, since the action is happening within them, the ashrayah is within those objects, they are considered as karta. So this is kartrikarakam. So last week we had a discussion about the karakam, right? What is karakam? Is it the sambandha between the word and the kriya padam, or if the word itself is called karakam? We had a small doubt regarding that. I sent a message the same day, but in case if any one of you have missed that message, so basically the word itself is called karakam. Okay, to be more clear, it is the vibhakti that the word is given is also called karakam, that particular karakam. But for now, you just take it as the word is the karakam. So here, balaha would be kartrikarakam, vatuhu would be kartrikarakam, suryaha would be kartrikarakam. Okay, so that is the kartrikarakam. So any questions in kartrikarakam? Okay, so let us move on to karmakarakam.
I want to ask you one thing. If Vatu is the Adhara for Kriya, Lekhana Kriya, Tatra Tasyapi Saptami Vibhakti Avashyaki va? Vatau katham asti?
It is the Adhara for the Kriya, and it will get the Vyapara of the Kriya is in the Vatuhu. The Vyapara of the Kriya is in Vatuhu. So Vatuhu will be Karta. Vyaparasya yaha ashrayah saha Karta. Okay, when where the action is happening, that will become the Adhikarana. That will become Saptami.
Okay.
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 So here, by whom the Kriya is being done? In normal words, in layman words, by whom the Kriya is being done? That word will get the Kartrikarakam. So that technically, when we are speaking, we say Dhatvartha is of two types, Phalam and Vyaparam. Vyaparasya ashrayah kaha saha kriyayaha vyaparaha vyaparasya ashrayah yaha saha karta iti. Okay.
Thank you.
So you can say Sudau kriyayaha vyaparaha asti. There you put it in Saptami Vibhakti. When you are saying the ashrayah, the vyapara of the kriya is in Suda. When you are trying to say that, then you put Suda padam in Saptami Vibhakti.
Sude.
Vyaparaha.
Sude is Saptami only.
Sorry. Suda is Akaranta. कृते क्रियायाः व्यापारः अस्ति.
Yes, clear. Thank you, ma'am.
Any other questions? You can raise your hand. Yes,
What
Ram.
is Suda means?
Sudaha is just the name of a person we can take.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Okay. So then we have the kArakam. So kArakam here, how is it given? Karturipsitatamam karma. Karturipsitatamam karma. This is the Paniniya Sutra. Kartuhu kriyaya aptum ishtatamam karakam karma sanyam syat. Iti sutrarthaha. So whatever is desired by the karta through his action. Okay. Now here balaha khadati. By the khadana kriya, what is he wanting? He wants to eat, satisfy his hunger or whatever it is. Or that padartha, whatever he's eating, should be eaten up by him. Right? That padartha, that action is being performed on that. So through that khadana kriya, he is associating himself with that padartha which is being eaten. Right? And through the paka kriya, pachana kriya, what is happening? What are we expecting? Whenever we cook something, what is it that we desire out of the result? What result do we desire through the action of cooking? To soften, right? Whatever it is, we want to make it soft so that it is easily digestible when we eat it. So the paka kriyayaha uddeshyaha kim or kaha, to make it soft. To make it soft. So whatever is being desired, the result, okay, of the by the karta through the kriya, that will get the karma sanya. Karta kanchit kriyam nivartayati. Taya kriyaya kinchit phalam jayate. Okay. Taccha phalam yatra sambaddham bhavatu iti ichchati tat karma sanyam prapnoti. So here, like we said, a dhatu will have two meanings, phalam and vyaparaha. Vyaparaha we have already seen. Vyaparaha is the sequence of actions that are done to get that kriya complete. Okay, and that vyapara will be done by the karta. Vyaparasya ashrayaha eva karta. Putra asti saha eva karta. Now, through that kriya, kinchit phalam, we know that whenever we are doing a kriya, we also have an akanksha towards the phalam. Some result we are expecting out of doing all these actions. With the action of cooking, we are expecting whichever padartha we are cooking, that to soften. By the khadana kriya, satisfaction of hunger. By reading, understanding something, learning something, right? So all these are the phalam that we are expecting by doing the kriya. Tatcha phalam yatra sambaddham bhavatu iti ichchati tat karma sanyam prapnoti. So this result, this phalam, the phalam of softening by cooking, where does it happen? In the rice, in the vegetables, whatever you are cooking, in that this phalam will happen. Or the ashrayam for the phalam will be that padartha. The softening is happening in the rice. So the phalam is the phalasya ashrayaha vodane asti, tandule asti. Similarly, the satisfaction of hunger is the phalam that we are expecting out of eating. That ashrayatvam, that what is the thing that is satisfying your hunger? That phalam is the ashrayatvam khadana padarthe asti, anne asti. So whatever you are eating, that is the ashrayatvam of the phalam. That is what is satisfying your hunger, right? So here phalam yatra sambaddham bhavatu iti ichchati tat karma sanyam prapnoti. Tatha cha karta swakriya janya phalena sambandhum ishyamanam karakam karma sanyam syat iti phalitharthaha. Sometimes we also have to, it is not just that which satisfies your hunger, or there can be more than one, there can be more than one, how do you say, phalam, by the kriya that you do. By the kriya that you do, there can be sometimes more than one object which looks like the ashraya of the phalam. In that case, you should see the identity. Kartuhu yat ichhati tadeva karma sanyam prapnoti. Say, for example, for you to understand, balakaha kshiram dogdhi. Gam kshiram dogdhi. Okay? So he is milking the cow. So balakaha kshiram dogdhi. He is milking. That is what the sentence means. Balakaha gam dogdhi. He is milking the cow. Right? Here, both are phalashraya only. The milk is also phalashraya, because what he actually wants is, out of this action of milking, what he desires is the milk. Right? So the cow is the one that is giving the milk. So we can look at the cow as phalashrayaha. And the milk is what he finally wants. So in the milk also the phalashrayaha is there. So both can be considered as phalashrayaha. So both will be karma padams. But what is it that he desires more? Milk. He is milking the cow, but it is not the cow that he desires. The more that the action, what he desires out of this action the most, what he desires the most out of this action is the milk. So here, kshiram will be the mukhya karma, and gam will be the gauna karma, the secondary karma padam. If the user, if the speaker does not wish to quote the gam as the karma padam, we can always say, what is the panchami vibhakti of go shabdaha? Anyone?
Gurohu. Goho.
Goho, right? So, balakaha goho kshiram dogdhi. You can say it like that. Means there it gets panchami vibhakti. So the boy is milking from the cow in that sense. So, but you cannot say that with the kshiram. Kshiram cannot be expressed in any other way other than in the kshiram eva, like in the dvitiya vibhakti eva. Okay, so the karma padam will get dvitiya vibhakti. We'll come to the vibhaktis later, but you look at the karakam main. So here kshiram will always get only karma karakam, because that is the most what is desired out of the action of dogdhi. From the milking action, what is the most desired is the milk. So milk will always get only karma karakam. There is no way any other karakam can be applied to it. But the gam can be either karma karakam or apadana karakam when it gets panchami from the cow. Okay, so there is a chance for that word to have both karakams. Why? Because that is not the most desired thing from the action. So there is no mandatory rule that it has to be only karma karakam. That which is most desired will always get only karma karakam and no other karakam. That will be kshiram in this case. So here in the sutram, if you see karturipsita tamam karma. Here kartuhu kriyaya yat aptum ishtatamam tat karakam karma sanyam bhavati. So what he desires the most from the action, that will get the karma sanya. Karma sanya means it will get the name karma. Okay, sanya means name. So now it is identified. It got the status as karma. So here the ipsita tamam. Ipsita tamam. So ipsita is isht dhatoho san pratyayam. Isht dhatoho san pratyayam ipsitam. So here tamam, ipsati you will get with the san pratyaya or ipsan like that, and kha pratyaya of the san dhatu. So ipsitataha, ipsitaha. For that we are adding tamap. Ipsita tamam. Tamap, tarap and tamap pratyaya you are familiar with. Okay. Those who are studying Kovida, I think you will be covering that shortly. So tamap and tarap pratyayas are used to indicate superlative. Tarap is when the comparison is being made between two objects. And tamap is used when one is identified among a group. Okay. So here means the most. In English, how do you say? Rama is the tallest of all the boys. That is tamap. Unnata tamam. Unnata tamaha. Ramaha unnata tamaha. Baleshu. Because it is Ramaha is in Pumlinga, Unnata tamaha also will be in Pumlinga. Because it is acting as an adjective. Okay. Rama Lakshmanayoho Ramaha Unnata taraha. Okay. Between Rama and Lakshmana, Rama is taller. So taller, tallest. Whenever we are doing a comparison just between the two, we use tarap pratyaya. When the comparison is made among a group, when we are identifying only one from a group, then we use tamap. Here ipsita tamam. Okay. So here tamap pratyaya is used. The pratyaya name is tamap. But in the word tamam, if it is an apumsakalinga, tamam, tama, strilinga, tamaha in pumlinga. Here karma. Karma is an apumsakalinga shabda. Hence ipsita tamam. Napumsakalinga is used. Okay. So why this tamam is indicating. Ipsita means that which you like the most. Tamam is indicating the most, the superlative. So here in the example also, what is most desirable of the two, the cow and the milk? Milk is the most desirable. That is the desired object, or what is desired by the karta from his action of milking is kshiram. So kshiram will get karma sanya. Okay. So that will become the karma karakam.
Ma'am, I have one question. Is
Ah.
it possible to have two karma padas in one sentence?
Yes, yes. It is
Yes.
definitely possible to have two karma padams in one object, in one sentence, but definitely between the two, again, one will be identified as the mukhya karma and the second one will be gauna karma. You normally cannot have two mukhya karmas. Like say,
Okay.
for example, shishyaha gurum prashnam pruchhati. Okay. Even in dvikarmaka dhatus, usually the two karma padams of one kriya will happen when the kriya is a dvikarmaka kriya. Okay, not all kriyas can have two karma padams. There are a set of kriya padams, dhatus, which are identified as dvikarmaka dhatu. Okay, means these dhatus have two karmas. Like prich dhatu is one such dhatu. Okay.
Now this sentence is there, ma'am. Sudaha tandulam pachati. Suppose we say tandulam and shakaha, then what we do?
Tandulam cha shakam cha pachati.
So is this an example of two karma padas, ma'am?
Those will be considered as two karma padas. Tandulam shakam cha pachati.
Okay. Thank you. Dhanyavad.
You can say that, but here both are for the, how do you say, both will be
We can't
samuchaya.
select which is mukhya.
Here there is nothing as one is mukhya and one is gauna, because both have the same status.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, but in dvikarmaka dhatus, a dhatu can have two karma padams where both are different. They are not, they don't have the same status.
Okay.
Like sudaha tandulam shakam cha pachati. Here both have the same status. Okay, but here guru or Shishyaha Gurum Prashnam Prichhati. Here,
Yes.
Gurum and Prashnam do not have the same status.
Correct.
They are not of the same kind, right? He is asking the Guru a question. So what
Yes.
is most desirable by the student to get the answer for his question?
Yes.
So by the action of Pruchhati, he is desiring to get an answer for his question. So Prashnam will be the Mukhya Karma, Gurum will be Gauna Karma.
Okay. Okay. Yes.
Okay, so there we classify them as Mukhya Karma and Gauna Karma. But what is the most desirable by the Karta through his action will be identified as the Mukhya Karma. That will only get Karma Sanya. The other words probably can get other, if there is a possibility, they can get other karakams. But
So in this sentence, ma'am, Guru will get the fifth vibhakti. Guroho Prashnam Prichhati.
so not necessarily, because from the Guru you don't ask the question. So it will be in Dvitiya Vibhakti.
चतुर्थी विभक्ति भवेत् वा चतुर्थी विभक्ति भवेत् वा
So Chaturthi Vibhakti,
कस्मै पृच्छति हा
that
गुरवे पृच्छति
1 second. So when can we use Chaturthi Vibhakti is through the Kriya, if you are aiming or intending that action towards that whomever you are aiming your action at, then that can get Sampradhanam. Okay. So in a sense, Guru can be in Sampradhana, but not ideally. Okay, that is just a very vague representation, you can say. But to whomever that action is intended in such cases. But again, we have so many other rules which we have to check before deciding on that. Okay. So with certain dhatus, only certain karakams will be assigned. So we have to check to see if Guru can get Sampradhanam or not. Though there is no Dana Kriya, sometimes when certain actions are directed towards somebody, we can use Chaturthi Vibhakti. We can use Sampradhanam there. But whether this qualifies for that or not, we have to just look at all the exceptional cases. Okay. A general rule will be given, and then we have so many exceptions. That is the reason why we are studying this book, the Karakams. Not only this book, in this book, they have given only the main rules of each Karakam, but taking this as, an outline, I'm trying to cover what all other rules also are there, rules or exceptions or, Vartikams, whatever are there with each rule, I'm gathering that information. So though we don't have in this book, we will be covering all the possibilities when that Karakam, that Karma Karakam or Karana Karakam, when it happens, we will definitely discuss. So that is the purpose of taking up this class. Okay. So
Bhagini,
also,
1 minute. Bhagini, saha manavakam pantanam prichati. So pantanam is the mukhya karma, is it? Manavakam or pantanam?
So
Prichati. And what kriya is it?
Panthanam only will be the Mukhya Kriya, Mukhya Karma.
Okay. And prichati is prichakriya. Prichakriya.
Yes.
Prichati is prichakriya, like gamana kriya, prichakriya. Oh, I will say. What do you say?
Prichadhatu.
Prichakriya. Okay.
So Manavakam Panthanam Prichati, right?
Yeah, saha manavakam pantanam prichati.
And Manavakam is a person.
Yeah, person. Saha is a person. He is asking another person.
Yes. So the main purpose of his asking is to find the way.
Yes.
So that will become the Mukhya Karma.
Okay. Dhanyawad.
So here the reason for Ipsita Tamam, that Tamam Pratyaya, that is the significance of the Tamam. So what is most desired through that action by the Karta should be taken. So that is the reason why we have the Tamam Pratyaya in the Sutram. So why the Kartu is given in the Sutra? We know that the Kriya is always done by the Karta only, right? We know that whoever does the Kriya, whoever does the kriya is the karta. So why can't we simply say ipsita tamam karma? That which is desired the most is karma. Why can't we say that? That question can arise. So for that, we can take this example. Devadattaha Masheshu Ashvam Badhnati. So Devadattaha Ashvam Badhnati. He tied the horse. Where did he tie? Masheshu. Masheshu means in the gram field. In the gram field. Okay. So here, Masha means like the black gram. So in the field of the black gram, he tied the horse. The horse is supposed to eat, the grass or whatever is left out in that field. It is supposed to eat. So he took the horse there and he tied it up there. Okay. So here, Masha or whatever grass that field has is desirable by the Ashwa. Ashwa desires that the most, right? So if we don't specify the word karta, Masha, the word Masha can also get karma sanya. Ipsita tamam karma. So the horse desires the Masha the most. So even that will get karma sanya. But that is not what we are trying to imply here. Through the action, what the karta desires. So here, Devadattaha, the action that he is doing is Badhnati. And by tying up the horse, the phalam, where is the phalam? In the Ashvaha, because Ashva is the one that is being tied up. Or by Badhnati, we also have to see the Datvartha. What does Badhnati mean? So to take something somewhere and tie it up so that it cannot move. So that the phalam of that dhatu is in the Ashva. So Ashva will be identified as the karma. Ashva will get, the word Ashva will get karma sanya and not Masha. Though Masha is desired by the Ashva, since Ashva is not the karta, Masha will not get the karma sanya. And since it is indicating location, Masheshu, it will get Saptami Vibhakti. So why I am explaining this is Panini's sutras will be so crystal clear. Every word, every letter in his sutra has a meaning. If we are not able to understand the meaning of a particular word in a sutra or why that word is in a particular vibhakti and all that, then we have not yet understood it completely is what we should think. So that preciseness is there in his sutras. That is why his Ashtadhyayi has become, very popular, and all the Vyakaranas follow only Ashtadhyayi. Even before Panini, there were many grammarians who have written many Vyakarana Granthas. But Panini's Ashtadhyayi only is in use. Why? Because of that reason. And he also took certain examples from the texts written by other Vyakaranas from before his time. If you look at some of the sutras, he will simply say, as per this grammarian, we will, this will happen. So where it is not necessary, where that statement has already been made by another Vyakarana in a previous Grantha, he will simply quote that if there is no necessity to state again separately. So we know that there are so many grammarians even before Panini Maharshi, and Panini Maharshi has also acknowledged some of the usages from those Vyakarana Granthas, but primarily his Ashtadhyayi is more popular. Why? Because of the preciseness of the sutras. But at the same time, for people like us, it will be difficult to understand. So these we have to follow the Vartikas and the Mahabhashyam, and even Mahabhashyam is difficult for us to understand just by reading it. So we have to study it under a guru, or several such other texts which are written with more simpler language with quoting some examples. So here, that is the reason why we have the word karta in the sutra. So you understood why we use the tamam pratyaya, tamap pratyaya, and the kartrupadam in the sutra. Okay. So here Devadattaha, another example. Devadattaha payasa odanam bhunkte. So here, basically, Devadattaha is eating, but he likes payasam as well as odanam. He likes both, or milk and odanam. He likes both, but he desires the annam more than the kshiram or the payas. So payasa odanam bhunkte. Again, here also it is the vivaksha of the speaker. He intends to say that Devadatta desires annam more than the payas. If you would like to say he desires payas more than odanam, then we have to put payas in dvitiya vibhakti and odanam in tritiya vibhakti. Here payasa odanam, along with payas, he is eating the rice. Again, for that also there is another sutram. The reason for which payasa is in tritiya vibhakti. Okay, we'll come to that later. But here odanam is more desirable. So by the karta, so odanam will be the mukhya karma. We'll get the karma karakam and it will be the mukhya karma. Okay. So here what else is given in the karma? So here Sudaha Tandu Karturipsitatamam karma. Kartuhu kriyaya aptum ishtatamam karakam karma sanyam syat iti sutrarthaha. So we read this. Yatha Sudaha Tandulam pachati. Atra pach dhatoho arthaha viklitta rupam phalam. Tadanukula kriyacha. Pakakriyayaha ashrayah Sudaha. Ataha Sudaha karta. Kartuhu Sudasya पाकक्रियाजन्य विक्लित्ति रूप फलेन संबंधुम इष्टमानः तंडुलः. So the karta Sudaha, here why it is in Shashti Vibhakti is for people in Telugu, you will understand who speak Telugu. Sududiki ఈ ఫలం ద్వారా తండూలంతో సంబంధం ఉంది. ఈ పాకక్రియ phalam dwara. So in that sense, the Shashti Vibhakti is being used here. Okay, to Suda. In that sense, we are using to Suda or to the Karta. What is desirable? Or what does he like to be in association with the Tandulam, which finally gets the phalam of the Viklitti Rupam. Okay, so in that sense. So if you are wondering why it is in Shashti Vibhakti, that is the reason. Kartuhu Sudasya means Kartuhu is Visheshana here to Sudasya. Sudasya Pakakriya Janya. Through the Pakakriya, what is being produced? Viklitti Rupa Phalena. The softened, the phalam of being softened. Sambandhum with that phalam. Sambandhum ishyamanaha tandulaha. So he desires softened rice, the result. That can happen only in tandula, right? That viklitti rupena phalam is possible only in tandula. So that is how he is connected with tandula. Ataha tandulaha karma bhavati. So that is what he is desiring the most. So and that quality of that phalam is in tandulaha. So tandulaha will get karma sanya. Idam manasi akalaniyam. Atra sudaha pakakriyam nirvartayati. Tandule viklitti rupaha vikaraha jayate. Swapakakriyaya tandule viklitti rupaha vikaraha jayatam iti ichha eva sudaha pravartate iti. Okay. So here in much more easy terminology, how is it given? Atra Sudaha Pakakriyam Nivartate. He is performing the Pakakriya. Tandule Viklitti Rupaha Vikaraha Jayate. Through his Kriya, the Tandula, in the Tandula, this phalam or the change has happened. The change of softening. Vikaraha means change. Has happened. Jayate. Swapakakriyaya Tandule viklitti rupaha vikaraha jayatam iti ichchaya eva sudaha pravartate. So why did he perform this action of cooking? With the expectation that this vikara will happen. The tandula, which is hard, will now be softened. Okay. To get this change in the tandula, he performed this action. For this phalam, viklitti rupam phalam, with the expectation of this phalam, he performed this action. Okay. So that is how you can look at how the karma sanya can be assigned to a word in the sentence. So through which what he desires, the karta, what he desires, the phalam, and that phalashrayah putra asti tadeva karma sanyam bhavati. Here viklitti rupam, he is expecting viklitti rupam in the rice, and that phalam is the ashrayatvam for that phalam is tandulah. So tandulam will get the karma sanya. Okay, balaha gramam gacchati. Gam dhatoho arthaha sanyoga rupam phalam. Right? Through the gam dhatu means going somewhere. By going somewhere, you arrive at a place. So anya pradeshasya sanyoga rupam phalam. Tadanukula kriyacha. And the kriya, associated kriya with it, means walking or taking a vehicle to reach to that place. That will be the tadanukula kriya. Gamana kriyayaha ashrayaha balaha. So who is doing that kriya, like walking or taking a vehicle and traveling there? Balaha. So balaha karta. Kartuhu balasya gamana kriya janya sanyoga rupa phalena sambandhum ishyamanaha gramaha. So through his action of going, what is he desiring? To reach that place. To reach that place. And that place here is gramaha. So his phalam through his kriya is to reach, and reaching that place is nothing other than the gramam. So that phalashrayah grame asti. So gramam will get the karma sanya, and it will become karma karakam. Ataha gramaha karma bhavati. Gamanam nama purvadeshasya tyagaha uttaradeshasya praptihi. Gamanam means you are leaving one place and reaching another place. So purvadeshasya tyagaha means leaving the purvadesham, and uttaradeshasya praptihi, and reaching to the whichever place you want to go. Balaha swagamanena grame swasanyogah bhavatu iti ichchati. So through his kriya, what is he expecting, or what does he like to get as a result through his action? To reach that place. Okay. So his phalam is in that gramam, the phalam of reaching that place. Ashrayah grame asti. Ataha gramam karma sanyam bhavati. So here another thing, so through that action, say for example, you are on a treadmill, you are doing the action, but you are not going anywhere. So what will the karma karakam be there? There is no place that you are reaching. Here your intention is something else, right? To burn your calories or whatever. So that will be the karma padam. So always we have to think about the phalashrayah kutra asti of that action. So though the same gamana kriya is happening, but still whether the desirable phalam is attained or not, or what is the purpose. Now every time a particular dhatu may not be used in the same sense. So we have to see in that particular sense what is the intention of the karta to do that kriya, and whether that intention, whether that akanksha through his kriya is being solved or attained, is what we have to see. And if it is attained, in which object, in which word that ashrayah is there, the phalashrayah, where it is there, in which word. So then you recognize that word as the karma karakam. Okay. So here chaitraha kupam khanati. Khanati means to dig. Khan dhatoho arthaha avadharana rupam phalam. Avadharana means breaking, opening, or like digging. All these come under khan dhatoh. Tad anukula kriya cha. What will be the anukula kriya? Taking a spade or something and actually, digging the mud, or you taking the mud and putting somewhere else and going deeper. Khanana kriyayaha ashrayah chaitraha. So all this action is being done by the person chaitraha. So he will be the karta. Chaitraha karta. Kartuhu chaitrasya khanana kriyajanya avadharana rupa phalena sambandhum ishyamanaha kupaha. Through his action of khananam, what is he planning to attain? A kupaha. He wants a pit or a well. Through his action of kanana, not the mud. It is not the mud that he wants. Sometimes when you're digging, you might want to have the mud, but sometimes it is the pit that he actually wants here. So kupaha will be the phalashrayah, right? His phalashrayah is in the word kupa. So kupa will get the karma sanya and it will become karma karakam. Ataha kupaha karma bhavati. Bhaktah harim bhajati. Bhaj dhatoho artha tushti rupam phalam. Tushti means to make happy. Tushti rupam phalam. So who is being happy? Bhaktah bhajati. The bhakta is performing bhajan. Through his action of the bhajan, who is feeling happy? Because that is the purpose of him to do the bhajan, right? He wants to make somebody happy. Whom? Harim. So that action of that happiness is in Hari. Hari has to feel happy. And happiness, that tushti, is the phalam. Phalashrayah kaha Harihi. That the ashraya for that phalam, that happiness, is in Hari only, nowhere else. Because that is what the bhakta desires. He wants to make Hari happy through his action of performing bhajan. So here Hari will be the phalashrayah. So he will get, the word Hari will get karma sanya and it will become karma karakam. So bhaj dhatoho arthaha tushti rupam phalam tadanukula kriyacha. Bhajana kriyayaha ashrayah bhaktaha. So doing the bhajan, clapping your hands, singing, dancing, whatever actions are involved in the bhajana, all that is done by the bhakta. So bhaktaha karta. Kartuhu bhaktasya bhajana kriyajanya tushti rupa phalena. Through his bhajana kriyajanya, through his bhajana, what is being produced? Tushti rupa phalena, the phalam of tushti, making something happy. Sambandhum ishyamanaha harihi. Through this phalam, whom is he connecting to? With whom is he connecting? With Hari. Because that is where the phalam is desired. Ataha harihi karma bhavati. Bhajanam nama pujanadi paricharanatmika kriya. So here bhajana in this sense can mean worshipping, just with your stotras or whatever, or performing, singing songs or anything related to puja. However way you perform your puja, that can be considered here under bhajana. Paricharanatmika means seva, performing seva. Paricharana means to perform seva. So any kriya that is paricharanatmikam kriyam bhaktaha karoti. Okay, any kriya that you do, which can be considered as seva. Okay, here in that sense it is used. Taya paricharanatmaka kriyaya harau tushtihi bhavati. Bhaktaha bhajana kriyaya harau tushtirupam phalam bhavatu. Iti ichchaya khalu pravartate. So what is the purpose of bhaktaha performing this bhajana? With the ichcha that I should make Hari happy through my kriya. That is why he is performing. With that ichcha, he is performing this kriya. So the phala ashrayah kaha asti or kutra asti? Harau asti. So harihi shabdasya karma sanyam bhavati, karma karakam bhavati. Okay, so here how is the sutra? How will a sutra get? Yeah, that we have already seen, right? Karturipsitatamam karma. So here that is what he desires the most. the Hari being happy. So Hari will get the karma sanya and karma karakam bhavati. Any questions so far?
A side question, madam. Paricharana Atmikam. How is it different from Paricharyam?
Paricharya.
Paricharya is also the same Kriya. Paricharana Atmikam, is it, what is this formation?
Atmikam is like the bhavam.
Okay.
Paricharya is, I think, Lyabanta.
Paricharya is 11th. Okay.
Paricharanatmakam is like the bhavana.
Now, similarly, Pujanadi Paricharanatmika Kriya, Bhajanam Nama. Pujana Adi Paricharana Atmika Kriya. So, what is the Paricharana Atmika means? Atmika means, is it something self getting involved? Self getting involved, something like that?
Which one? Paricharanatmika Kriya, na? Seva Kriya.
Atmika means what?
Okay. Paricharanatmikam. That which is filled with the seva bhava, you can say.
Seva bhava, okay. Okay, Bhagi, thank you.
Yeah, paricharya is a lyabanta.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions, anyone? So here we have we have so many cases, especially with a few other karakas. Even with karma karaka, we'll come back again because there are other secondary cases where a word will be given karma sanya. Those are all secondary cases. This is the primary case where a word is given karma karakam. But there are so many again special cases where a word will be given karma sanya. We'll come to that soon after, because I didn't want to go back and forth with these pages. So however, in the book it is given, I'm simply following the same sequence because initially many of you are new to the Karakam concept. So if we discuss too many points at the same time, it can cause even more confusion. So let us discuss the primary cases where a word will be given that particular Karakam Sanya. Right? The Kartru Karakam, Karma Karakam, these are the major cases. But there are many special cases where a word can be given Karma Sanya. Those we'll again come back. Okay, and then we'll discuss the Vibhaktis. Okay, how each Karma Karakam gets what Vibhakti. And again, in some special cases, there will be other options. So a word, say for example, just as an example I'm giving, Ramaya Namaha. Okay, there Ramaya is in Chaturthi Vibhakti. But Aham Ramam Namami. Here Ramam is in Dvitiya Vibhakti. Okay, in both cases, I am offering my salutations to Rama only. So the main action is still the same. But there Ramaya got Chaturthi Vibhakti, whereas here it got Dvitiya Vibhakti. So such cases also we'll discuss, okay, later on. But first we'll discuss the primary cases of a Karakam, the Kartru Karakam and the Karma Karakam. And then slowly we'll again come back because Karma Karakam is huge. There are so many cases for a word to get Karma Karakam. There are so many other cases also. But here we have covered only one case where Kartur Ipsitamam Karma. That only we have covered. But there are other cases where a word can get Karma Karakam. That will come back later too. Okay. So now since nobody has any further questions, let us move on. Idam avadheyam. Sarvesham dhatunam artah phalam kriyacha. Dhatavascha sakarmakaha akarmakaha cha iti dvidha. We all know that, right? We studied this in the Pravesha level only. Dhatuhu are of two types, sakarmaka and akarmaka. Tatra sakarmaka dhatuhu yada prayujyate tada phalam ekatra bhavati. kriya anyatra bhavati. Phalam yatra bhavati saha karma. Ataha eva phalashrayah karma ityuchyate. Now here, bhaktaha harim bhajati, chaitraha kupam khanati. So here the phalashrayah is in kupa and vyaparashrayah is in chaitraha. So here the kriya is in one person, which is the vyapara, and phalam is in another object. Okay, so here in two different places the ashrayah is happening. The kriya ashrayah or vyaparashrayah is in karta, phalashrayah is in karma. This happens with a sakarmaka dhatu. Okay, in a sakarmaka dhatu, this is what happens. Kriya anyatra bhavati. Phalam yatra bhavati saha karma, ataha eva phalashrayah karma ityuchyate. Kriya yatra bhavati saha karta, ataha eva kriyashrayah. Kriyashrayah or vyaparashrayah both mean the same. Karta ityuchyate. Yatha sudaha tandulam pachati. Pach dhatoho arthaha viklitti rupam phalam tadanukula kriyacha. Okay, to obtain a softened, whatever you are cooking, a softened version of it. And the tadanukula kriya. Viklittihi tandule. That viklittihi means that quality of being softened. Where is it? Tandule asti. Ataha tandulaha karma. The phalam. What is the phalam? To get the softened product of whatever you are cooking. That phalam can happen only in tandula. So the phalashrayaha tandule asti. Ataha tandulaha karma. Kriya sude. The action. All the actions are performed by suda. So sude kriyayaha ashrayaha. Ataha sudaha karta. Akarmaka dhatuhu yada prayujyate tada phalam kriyacha kartari eva bhavataha. So let us take a akarmaka kriya. What is an akarmaka kriya? Like hasati. Okay, Ramaha hasati. Who is doing the action? Ramaha. And what is the phalam? That final laughing. And where is that phalashrayah? Kaha putra asti? Rame eva asti. Right? That final, that laughter. Laughter will be the phalam. Okay, so to laugh, you have to open your mouth, produce some energy from within. That sound is made, or sometimes the sound is not made, or there is some kind of movement in your face and body. All these are the vyapara. And what is the final product or the phalam? Laughter. So this laughter, ashrayaha kutra asti? Rame asti. So here the kriyayaha ashrayaha api ramaha, phalasya ashrayaha api ramaha. So in that case, we call that dhatu as akarmaka dhatu, because it does not have any, the phalashrayah is not in a separate object, which can be labeled as karma. So that is why such dhatus are called akarmaka dhatus. They don't have karma associated with them. Yatha, chandraha vardhate. Okay, chandraha vardhate. Chandra is growing. Okay. Vriddha dhatoho arthaha vriddhi rupam phalam tadanukula kriyacha. Where is the vardhanam happening? In the Chandra itself. The vardhanam is also happening in the Chandra itself. Okay. So, etad ubhayam api kartari chandre eva vartate. So the vardhanam, the final phalam of the vardhana kriya is also in Chandra, and that action of growing. To grow, what is needed? If we take Chandra as a person here, as a boy here, so that eating, exercising, all these should take place for him to grow, right? And the time also should happen. It won't happen overnight, right? So all this is happening, and the final, that vardhanam, the phalam of the vardhanam is also in the Chandra only, right? So here, vriddha dhatoho arthaha vriddhi rupam phalam tadanukula kriya. Atra etad ubhayam api kartari chandre eva vartate. Both are in Chandra only. So here, vriddha dhatuhu akarmaka dhatuhu. Okay, with akarmaka dhatuhu, we have to remember that the kriyayaha ashrayaha Phalasya ashrayah api karta eva, kartari eva. Okay, any questions? Okay. Are you all following? Anyone Telugu speaking people, if you have not understand anywhere, please do let me know. Okay. So let us move on to Karanam. Here, what is given? Sarvesham dhatunam artha. Oh, sorry. Karanam. Sadhakatamam Karanam. This is Paniniya Sutra. Sadhakatamam Karanam. Here also tamam. Tamap pratyaya is used. Okay. So keep that in mind. Kriya siddhau prakrishtopakarакam karakam karanasangnyam syat iti sutrarthaha. So kriya siddhau, to make the kriya happen, the kriya siddhi to happen. Now you have you wanted to read a book. Okay, when will the siddhi happen? You should have enough light. You should have the book that you want to read. Your eyes should be in working condition. If you want to read, if you are only reading in your mind, then only eyes is enough. If you want to recite something, then your you should be able to speak, you should be able to produce the sound. All these are the factors that help in the kriya to happen, kriya siddhi. For the kriya siddhi to happen, these are all the factors. To be able to cook, you need fire, you need a pot, you need the things that you want to cook, you need water, you need a ladle, a spoon to use. All these are the things that you need. Right? Without any of these things, you will not be able to cook. So, kriya siddhau prakrishtopakarакam. Prakrishta upakarakam. Upakarakam means an instrument. Okay? Sadhanam. Prakrishtaha, distinguished, means there will be many upakaranas for a kriya to happen. But one particular upakarakam, is most essential. Soon after you use that, the what do you say, action, the kriya siddhi bhavati. Soon after that one particular thing. Now say for example, Vali is there. Rama is trying to kill him. Okay. So say for example, he is using several ways to kill him, but that killing is not happening. Only when he put that arrow in a particular place, immediately that action happened. Vali is killed. Only soon after he used that banam in a particular place, immediately Vali dies. So here we can recognize this particular banam as the karanam, karanakarakam. That is the prakrishta upakarakam, means the most distinguished instrument. There are many other ways, like you can hit him with a gada, you can strangle his neck. There could be many other ways, but only after this application is done, he died. So this is the main reason for that kriya siddhi to happen. So prakrishta upakarakam, prakrishta means the most distinguished instrument that is used to make this kriya siddhi happen. Okay. Sometimes more than one can also be identified as prakrishta upakarakam. It need not be only one. There is no rule that there should be only one. Okay. Many times only one will be specified. Again, here also vivaksha. Okay, the Vakta, whatever he wishes to project as the Prakrishta Upakarakam, that will become the Karanakarakam. Okay. Yat Swavyapara Samanantarameva Phalotpadakam Tat Karanam iti Phalitarthaha. Samanantarameva, Samanantaram means immediately. Yat Swavyapara Samanantarameva Phalotpadakam, phalasya utpadakam, tat karanam iti phalitarthaha. Okay, so by which vyapara, okay, swavyapara samanantarameva, after doing what? after using the bana, Vali is dead. After lighting up the fire, cooking is done. Like this, whatever, for each kriya, there will be one sadhana. After which, soon after which, the kriya siddhi will happen. So that can be identified as the karanam. Okay, so here, samanantaram means immediately, after which kriya, the samanantaram has happened. Here kriya means one kriya involves so many steps I told you. So after using which one, after doing which, immediately after that, when the phalitam is obtained, when the phalam is obtained, then that can be identified as the karanam. Sadhanam, sadhakam, all mean the same. Okay, sadhanam is an instrument. Sadhakam also you can say. So sadhakatamam karanam. So again here, now, how do you, how do you determine which is the most useful to perform the action? Like I said, when an action is being performed, there can be many ways, many things that are used for that action to happen. But how do you decide which one is the most useful? Because here, sadhaka tamam, again, tamam is used. The most useful instrument is identified as karanam. So, kriyayaha phala nishpattihi yat vyaparat anantaram vivakshyate yada tatra karanam tat tada smritam. So, vivakshyate, again, we have to pay attention to this vivakshyate. Again, it is the speaker's intention. Okay, sometimes the speaker would like to project one as the most important instrument. Then we have to go with that only. Okay, so which he would like to show as the phala nishpattihi, kriyayaha phala nishpattihi, yat vyaparat anantaram. So after performing which action, the immediate phala nishpattihi happens, and which is as told by the Vakta, tatra karanam smritam. We have to identify that as the karanam. Okay. So this is as per the Vakyapadiyam. In Vakyapadiyam, this sutra is given. Karikam, we say. In Vakyapadiyam, the sutras are called karikas. So as per the karika of Vakyapadiyam, that is how we can identify the karanam. Basically, all these are written in much more detail of the Panini's sutras. Okay, we can follow any of these to understand Paniniya sutras in a much better way. And another karikam is also given. Vastutaha tat anirdeshyam nahi vastu vyavasthitam. Okay, sthalya pachyate ityesha vivaksha drishyate yataha. This is another karikam given in Vakyapadiyam. Vastutaha tat anirdeshyam. Anirdeshyam. So what do you mean by anirdeshyam? Karanam is not like, you don't have a list of objects. You don't have a list of objects which are considered as karanam. Okay. So, tat anirdeshyam vastutaha. Normally, tat anirdeshyam. Tat here indicates karanam. Karanam is anirdeshyam. It is not predefined word. You cannot say these are all the words which are karanams. Okay. Nahi vastu vyavasthitam. Or it cannot be identified with the word characterization. Through some characteristics you cannot identify. Okay. Sthalya pachyate ityesha vivaksha drishyate yataha. So sthalya pachate. Earlier, what did we see? Sthali pachati. There, the Vakta wanted to project Sthali as the Karta. Okay, the vessel itself cooked, indicating
Shamatam Bhagini kutra patati.
who are not in the book. I simply took it from Vakyapadiyam.
Oh, I'm going crazy with looking for it. Okay, thank you.
So here, in the previous, when we were studying the kArakam, sthali pachati, we studied, right? Where sthali is used as the karta. So there, what is the vivaksha of the vakta? He wants to project the sthali, the vessel itself, as the karta. Means he is trying to say that the vessel is so suitable, so efficient, that the food almost cooked by itself. I didn't have to do anything. So that is what he is trying to convey. Sthalya pachyate. So here sthalya pachyate ityesha vivaksha drishyate. So it has been cooked by the sthali. So here also it is similar, meaning is similar to sthali pachati, right? Sthali pachati, sthalya pachyate. Both meaning wise they are the same. Here sthali normally is adharabhutaha, means adhikaranam, means that is where you are cooking the food. So it is more of adhikarana. It has to be in saptami vibhakti. Kintu vaktasya vivakshena karanasanyam prapnoti. Tena sthalya pachyate. By him and through this vessel, with this vessel, cooking is done. So he is using this vessel as an instrument to get the cooking done. Okay, not the fire, not the ingredients. More than anything, this vessel is used as a tool to accomplish the cooking. So in that sense, say for example, there will be a certain ovens, right? In that particular oven only you will be able to cook certain kind of foods. You cannot perform that in other with other means of cooking. So there, that oven holds that characteristic of being able to cook that particular thing. Like say for example, the naan. You can cook it only in a certain kind of oven. You cannot make it on a pan or somewhere else. It has to be cooked in a certain kind of vessel. So there, through that vessel only, that cooking can happen. So sthalya pachati, like that. When you want to project such kind of meaning, importance on the cooking, on whatever gadget is used to accomplish that kriya, then we use that particular, we use that as the karanam. So here in the Pachana Kriya, we have Kashtani, Agni, Sthali, Darvi, Tandulam. All these are upakarakams, right? But we chose to have only the Sthali as the Karanam in this particular case. In another case, the Vakta might choose to use Agni, Agnina Pachyate, he can say. So it is totally dependent on the Vakta. Sometimes two also can be used. It is not mandatory that only one word can be taken as Karanam. If the Vakta would like to project two important things as instruments for that action to be performed, then two can be given. So say for example, so here we have sadhakatamam vivakshadhinam asti. So again, here it is the vakta's preference. Okay, vivakshadhinam asti, sadhakatamam. So as per, so vivakshyate, again, coming back to the same word, vaktuhu ichham anusritya nirniyate. So as per the liking of the vaktaha, of the vakta, that can be decided. Okay, vivakshyate means as per the ichha of the vakta, which word can be projected as which karakam can be decided. Nirniyate. Vaktuhu ichham anusritya nirniyate. Okay, as per his ichha only, that can be decided. So there is no right or wrong here. We have to understand that is the intention of the speaker. Okay. So kriyartham avashyakani yani sadhakani teshu kasya sadhakasya prayogat anantaram kriya samapyate iti sadhakatamam bhavati tat vaktuhu ichham anusarati. So again, just summarizing what we have studied so far. So kriyartham, for the kriya to happen, or kriya siddhyartham, avashyakani yani sadhakani, whatever are needed, whatever sadhakas are needed for the kriya siddhi to happen. Teshu, among those, kasya sadhakasya prayogat anantaram. Among those, after whichever sadhakam the kriya is completed, kriya samapyate iti sadhakatamam. Okay, the sadhakam which is the most useful for the kriya siddhi to happen. Okay, tat vaktuhu ichcham anusarati. Again, though that is the most used instrument for the kriya to be completed, again it depends on the how the vakta would like to express. Okay, now balena chinnatti, that is an example. So here what are the instruments used? Hastabhyam chinnatti, tatha dvayoho adhikanam va api padarthanam yugapat sadhakatamatvam swikritya hastena parashuna balena cha chinnatti. So here balena chinnatti. Okay. So balena katham chinnatti? Hastabhyam chinnatti. So with the hands. Okay. Or parashuna chinnatti, with the axe. Okay. Or if you would like to say both, if you would like to use both, then we can say hastabhyam parashuna cha chinnatti. Using the hands and the parashu, the tree has been cut. You can say that. So again, it all depends on the vakta. And again, tamap. Why are we taking tamap here? The karanam should be strictly karanam. In the karma also, we told that the kshiram is the most desirable. So that can only get karma karakam. There is no way that it can get any other karakam. Whereas go shabda can get either karma karakam or apadana karakam. Okay. So for other words which are not karturipsitamam, they have the possibility of getting other karakams also. The only word which can get only the karma karakam will be the mukhya karma. Similarly, here also the karana karakam is the one which cannot get any other karakam. Basically, it can be only karana karakam. Okay, so here that is one thing you have to remember. So, say for example, if the tamap pratyayam is not used, then we have to realize that other karakas can also come into play. Whenever a sutra has tamap pratyayam, then that will definitely get only that karakam. So here sadhakatamam karanam. Here that karana karakam, the word that gets the karana karakam gets only karana karakam. In no other way you can apply any other karakam to that word. Like how in kshiram, only karma karakam can be applied. You cannot apply. Try to see if any other karakam applies there. It cannot. Whereas for the gam shabda, either karma karakam can be applied or apadana karakam can be applied. So similarly, whenever the tamap is used, we have to understand that there strictly only that karakam will come into play. If the tamap is not there, when we are defining a karakam, then there is a possibility for other karakams also to come into application. Okay, that all depends again on the vakta. Not mandatorily that you can apply anything. It depends on how the vakta tries to express. Okay. So here, coming back to the book, let us look at the examples. So here, yatha. So we are on page 6 of the Karakam book. Yatha. Ramaha banena ravanam hanti. Okay. So here, han dhatartaha. Prana viyoga rupam phalam tadanukula kriyacha. Okay. Prana viyoga rupam. Han dhatu means to kill. To kill means what? When do you say something is killed? prana viyogam. Only when the prana viyogam happens, we say that that has been killed, right? So that is the phalam. Tadanukula kriya. Hanana kriyashrayah ramaha. So whoever performs the action where the final phalam is obtained of killing, that ashrayah here is ramaha. Ataha saha karta. So ramaha is karta. Pranaviyoga rupam phalam ravane asti. Okay. So the phalam, phalashrayah kutra asti, ravane asti. The pranaviyogam phalam kutra bhavati, ravane bhavati. So ravanaha will become the karma. Phalashrayatvat ravanaha karma. Dhanushaha muktaha banaha gachan ravanam vidyati, means pravishati. Okay. So once the bana which has been freed from the dhanush, it entered Ravana's body. Samanantarameva, immediately, only after that, only after the bana entered Ravana, immediately after that, pranaviyogaha phalam ravane bhavati. So in Ravana, that phalam has happened. The pranaviyogaha phalam has happened. Banasya praveshana vyapara samanantarameva pranaviyoga rupam phalam utpannam. Only after the bana has entered Ravana's body, after that vyapara has happened, only then, immediately after then, the pranaviyoga rupam phalam happened. Ataha banaha swavyapara samanantaram eva pranaviyoga rupa phalotpadakaha asti. So this banaha is the one that created this phalam. Soon after the bana entered the Ravana's body, that is when the phalam was achieved, and which was achieved by the bana being used as the sadhanam. So ataha iti banaha karanam. Ataha prakrishtopaKarakam nama swavyapara samanantaram. So prakrishtopaKarakam is given in the first vritti after the sutra. So the distinguished sadhakam. Okay, so that is labeled as, the bana here is labeled as prakrishta upakarakam, means swavyapara samanantaram, after which the action, after which, immediately after which the phalotpadakam bhavati. Iti jneyam. Okay. So any questions so far? Okay. So let us
Meaning of upakarakam is sadhanam.
instrument, yes, sadhanam. Devadattaha parashuna vriksham chinnatti. So chid dhatoho arthaha vidarana rupa phalam. Vidaranam means breaking. Tadanukula kriyacha. Kriyashrayah devadattaha karta. So the ashraya of this kriya is devadattaha, because he is the one who is performing the action of cutting. Vidarana rupam phalam vrikshe asti. So that breaking, that is the phalam. So finally, after the breaking has happened, where is that phalam? In the vriksha. So vrikshaha karma bhavati. Phalashrayatvat vrikshaha karma. Devadattaha hastabhyam parashum upari neetva adaha patayati. So what did Devadatta do with his hands? He lifted the parashu and then he brought it down onto the tree. Anekashaha uparinayanaadhaha patana vyapara samanantaram eva vrikshe vidarana rupam phalam utpannam. So anekashaha, many times after doing this uparinayana adaha patana, so bringing it up and bringing it down. Okay, vyapara samanantaram eva, after doing this several times, then only immediately after that, vrikshe vidarana rupam phalam utpannam. Only then the breaking of the tree has happened. Ataha parashuhu swavyapara samanantaram eva vidarana rupa phalotpadakaha asti. Iti parashuhu karanam. So we can consider the parashu as Swavyapara samanantaram. Phalotpadakaha. Okay, it is the phalotpadaha. Phalotpadakaha. It is the phalotpadakaha. Means it generated the phalam. Okay, so it is considered as the karana. Like I said in the previous example, I was saying it can also be here the Vakta chooses to state Parashu as the Phalotpadakam. Kevalam Parashu as the Phalotpadakam. But sometimes, you hit it with the axe and then again you use your hands to bend it. When you're cutting the branches, we use the knife, but sometimes we also use our hands to snap it off. So in that case, if that is what has happened, then, and if the Vakta chooses to quote both the Parashu and the Hasta as the sadhanas, then both can be stated. There is no rule that there has to be only one sadhana. Depending on how many sadhanas were used for that kriya to be achieved, and whatever the speaker intends to project through his sentence. Okay, all those can be included. If you want to give, if the Vakta would like to project only the Parashu as the sadhanam, because major work is done by Parashu. With your hands, you simply pulled at the end. So that really doesn't matter. That is not the Kriya Siddhi, right? It is not the primary cause of the Kriya Siddhi to happen. In such case, the Vakta chooses not to mention it. But both were used equally for the action of breaking the tree. Then the Vakta chooses to express, to use both words as the karanams. Okay, so that we have to keep in mind. Balaha padabhyam griham gacchati. Balaha padabhyam griham gacchati means walking, he went home. So he used his feet as the karanam. Gam dhatuhu artaha uttaradesha sanyogah tadanukula kriyacha. So gam dhatoho artaha kim, reaching the other place. Purvakalatyagaha uttaradesha sanyogah. Kriyashrayaha balaha karta. So the action is being done. The action of actually lifting up your leg and putting it down and moving forward in that way is being done by the balaha. So he is karta. Sanyoga rupam phalam grihe asti. So he wants to reach the griham. So reaching of the griham is happening. That phalashrayaha is griham. Ataha phalashrayatvat griham karma. Balaha padau udhritya nikshipati. Udhritya means lifting. Nikshipati means again putting it down. So he is lifting his leg and putting it down, lifting his leg and putting his down. Only by doing this continuously several times, he is able to achieve the phalam, which is reaching home. So his feet are used as the sadhana here. Anekashaha uddharana nikshepana vyapara samanantarameva grihe sanyogaha utpannaha. So anekashaha, after doing several times of this uddharana and nikshepana, this kind of vyapara, after doing so many times, only then the grihe sanyogaha utpannaha. Ataha padau swavyapara samanantameva Sanyoga Rupa Phalotpadakau Staha iti Padau Karanam. So the Pada, he has 2 feet. So Padau in Dvivachana it is there. The Karanam, the Karana Karakam are considered. The Padau are considered as the Karanam. Okay.
Mahoday,
Um,
can you just elaborate this swavyapara samanantarameva, that word, the meaning of that word?
So Vyapara, it is the Kriya. Vyapara is nothing but the Kriya. Right? Kriya is like samahara of several kriyas. Like say for example, he balaha griham gacchati. When we say that, you will only look at it as gacchati as reaching one place. But to reach that place, what are all the steps involved? Like how it is given here, lifting of the leg, putting it down, lifting of the leg, putting it down. After several times repeating the same action, he is able to reach. So this is called vyapara. Vyapara means that steps involved in for the kriya to happen. Okay, that is vyapara. Swavyapara samanantarameva. So samanantaram means immediately after. Here the ra is missing in my book. I don't know in other books. Samanantameva is given. If that is the case in your books also, samanantarameva. Okay, means immediately after that only. Swavyapara.
that.
Swavyapara means this vyapara is done by the bala of the or the padas. Here, padau swavyapara samanantarameva. So here these padas by themselves are performing this action, and immediately after that only sanyoga rupa phalam bhavati. Okay, utpadakam. So the phalam, sanyoga rupa phalam has happened only after this vyapara by the feet.
Okay. After like samanantarameva, does that mean after finishing that vyapara, you get
Yes,
the
correct. Soon after that vyapara is done, only then this phalam has been obtained. Sanyoga rupa phalam. Here it is sanyoga rupa phalam.
Dhanyavad.
Bhagini, samanantaram ityukte just after finishing, is it?
Immediately after, yeah.
Immediately after. Okay, thank you.
So this is the kArakam. Okay, so that object can be identified after using with which object, you know, that actual action after, see, in the walking action, there are so many things, but after, you know, with the usage of which object that action is completed. In the earlier case, like I said, you know, a lot of fight has happened between Rama and Ravana, but only after this particular bana has been, you know, projected towards Ravana, and after this bana entered Ravana's body, then he died. So this bana is considered as the karanam. There are many other arrows or other objects which have been used during the war to kill Ravana, but none of them have completed the task. That kriya siddhihi na bhavati. So we cannot consider those as karanas. Only through which object or thing or which action. Here in this case, the padabhyam, here it is the action, it is not a thing, right? So it is an action, that action through the feet. So here the feet is considered as the karanam. So through which that final kriya siddhi happens, that should be considered as karanam. Parashuna vriksham chinatti. So here parashu is being projected, but like I said, sometimes you can use parashu and hastabhyam. So then both also can be considered as karanam, because both are equally used to break the tree, say for example. Then we can quote again, it depends on the vivaksha of the vakta. If the vakta would like to project both as the karanams, they are qualified to be projected as the karanams. If not, only parashu, or if not, only hastam, like bhimaha. Bhimaha hastabhyam vriksham chinatti. For Bhima, he doesn't need any parashu. He can break the tree with his own hands. So there only the hands are used to obtain the phalam. Then Bhimaha hastabhyam vriksham chinatti, we can say. Like that, depending on which object is used in achieving the kriya, the completion of the kriya, that word will get the karanam sanya, and that will become the karanakarakam. Any questions? Okay. So let us move on to sampradana. So karmana yamabhipraiti sa sampradanam. Karmana yamabhipraiti sa sampradanam. Karmana yamabhipraiti saha sampradanam iti sutrarthaha. Karmana sambandhum yam abhipraiti. Abhipraiti means ichchati or intended or aimed at. Okay, this is abhi and pra are the upasargas, and in dhatu is used. Okay, that will become abhipraiti. Saha Sampradanam Syat iti Phalitarthaha. Okay. So again, so Sampradanam, there also Sam is an Upasarga, Pra is Upasarga, and Da Dhatu. Okay. So that gives it as Samyak Prakarshena Diyate Asmai iti Sampradanam. Samyak Prakarshena. Prakarshena means without expecting back. Whatever you give to somebody without the expectation of getting it back, that is called Sampradana. So Danakriya, basically. When you perform a Danakriya, you don't have any expectation to receive something back, right? So that is called Sampradana. Okay. That will get the Sampradana Sanya.
Can you repeat that? Samyak Prakarshena.
Samyak Prakarshena Diyate Asmai iti Sampradanam. In that, okay, Asmai, for that, the Sampradana Karakam is given. So here, coming back to the book, so Karmana Sambandhum Yam Abhipraiti Saha Sampradanam Syat. So Karmana, through the Karma, Sambandhum, okay, to have a connection, to have a kind of connection through the Karma. Yam Abhipraiti, to whom it is intended. Saha Sampradanam Syat. Say, for example, Pita Modakam Balaya Dadati. Pita Dadati. Okay. Kam Dadati, Modakam Dadati. So Modakam will be the karma here. Okay. Kasmai Dadati. So who, with whom is this? Through the karma, whom is the Pita trying to benefit? Or who, towards whom this action of Dadati is aimed at, is intended, for whom this action?
Bala.
Balaha. So Balaha will become the Sampradanam here. So it will get Chaturthi Vibhakti. Again, like I said, for which Karakam, which Vibhakti, we'll come back to that again. But Bala here will get the Sampradanam. Okay. So Karmana Sambandhum Yam Abhipraiti. Okay, towards whom it is intended. Saha Sampradanam Syat. Deya Dravya Uddeshyam Sampradanam iti Tatparyarthaha. Deya Dravya. So Deya is to be given. Dravyam, some kind of Dravyam, like Vastu. Okay. Uddeshyam. Towards whom this Dravya. Dravya means basically some kind of material. Materialistic thing is called a Dravyam. Okay. Towards whom this Dravyam is intended to be given. That will get the Sampradanam. Sanya. Dhatvartaha Hastadau Sthapana Rupam Phalam Tadanukula Kriyacha. So for the Dhatu, for the Da Dhatu, what is the Phalam? Hastadau Sthapana Rupam. To put in somebody's hands. Hastadau Sthapana Rupam Phalam. Tadanukula Kriya. And whatever Kriya is needed to make that happen. So you lift Modakam Balaya Dadati. So what did Pita do? He either got the Modakam from somewhere outside in a shop, or he made it, and then he with his hands he put it in the Balaka's hands. So Hastadau Sthapana Rupam Phalam. That is the Phalam. Only then that Dadati Kriyayaha Phalam Bhavati. Without putting in his hands, Dadati, you cannot say. If he put it somewhere else, we cannot say the Kriya Dadati has been completed. Dana Kriya Shreyaha Pita Karta. So this Kriya of the Danam is happening by the Karta, Pita. So he is the one who is bringing that object and putting it in the hands of the boy. So this Kriya Shreyaha Pita. Ataha Pita Karta. Sthapana Rupam Phalam Modake. So this, what is being put? The Modakam. So that Sthapana Kriya, Yaha Phalam or Ashrayaha Putra Asti, Modake Asti. So Modakam will be the Phalam. Ataha Modakaha Karma. Karma Bhutena tena modakena pita kam sambandhum abhipraiti. So karma bhutena tena modakena. Through this modaka or with this modaka, kam sambandhum abhipraiti. To whom is he intending this action of dadati? With whom? Karma bhutena modakena balam sambandhum abhipraiti. Abhipraiti means intended or ichchati. He likes to have the connection through this karma to whomever it is intended. Okay, that action, and through with this karma and through his action, he is directing his action towards whom? Towards the bala. Ataha saha balaha sampradanam bhavati. Okay, karma bhutam vastu yam adhigacchati saha sampradanam bhavati. Karma bhutam vastu. So here danakriya is happening. What is being given away will get the karma sanya. So that karma bhutam vastu, that vastu which has the karma sanya, yam adhigacchati, means adhigacchati here means obtaining. So he who obtains it. Okay, yam adhigacchati. Yaha adhigacchati saha sampradanam bhavati. So he who obtains, he is called or he gets the sampradanam. Here yam is used in dvitiya vibhakti. Yavarinaite varinchindo. In that sense also you can use. Okay. Sometimes that comparison between languages is very well important. Why? Because it helps you understand better and the relation. So normally what do we say? Vastuhu yaha adhigacchati, he who obtains, saha sampradanam. Like that also you can say, he who gets. But here yavarinaite adivarinchindo. Okay, yavarikaite praptam dorikindo. Like that also you can say. In that senses. There are several ways to express that. Here it is expressed as yam adhigacchati. Okay, to whom it has been given. It has been obtained by. Okay, saha sampradanam. That word will get sampradana sanya. Atra karma bhutam vastu modakaha balakam adhigacchati. Okay, that particular thing was obtained by the balaka. Ataha balaha sampradanam. Yathava. Now here again, sampradana is a very is a kArakam which is very elaborate. So many words. There are so many factors that make a word get the sampradana kArakam. Okay, we'll see a few today, and we will not be able to complete all of them. Whatever is given here in the book is only a few, but we have so many more. So we will cover all, because that is where we are always struggling. Whenever we see a word in Chaturthi Vibhakti, many of us, we only look at the Danakriya. Is the Danakriya there? If it is not there, there are in our Pravesha book, there are some words given for Upapada Vibhakti. So if it is that or this, that's all. But there are other cases also. So let us learn this kArakam in detail. So here, what is given? Khandi.
Bhagini, I want to ask one question. Here it has been said that karma bhutena modakena balam sambandhum abhipreti. You said it that the abhipreti is nothing but the ichati. Upari api tadeva लिखितम् अस्ति परन्तु इच्छति दातुम् इच्छति वा इच्छति यदि मोदकेन बालः सम्बन्धुम् अभिप्रेति इत्यर्थे दातुम् इच्छति एव अर्थः भवति दातुम् इच्छति
Karmana, with the karma, sambandhum, with whom you would like to make an association through the karma.
Okay, okay.
Kevalam datum ichchati na. With what you are related or through to which this danakriya is directed at.
Okay, okay.
In that sense, we have to take.
मोदकस्य दान प्रक्रियायाः सम्बन्धः अवगतवती धन्यवाद भगिनी.
Ichchati is given. Abhipraiti means like I said, it is in dhatu, means in dhatu is gatau, means movement. There is some kind of movement. So aimed at, you can look at it as to whomever this kriya is intended towards. In that sense, we can take. It is not kevalam ichchati. Ichchati is a simpler form for us to understand simply, in simple terms. But here, that action towards whom it is aimed at. Okay.
Dhanyavad Bhagini. It's very crystal clear. Thanks.
So
Thanks.
here, Khandikopadhyayah Shishyaya Chapetam Dadati. So Khandikopadhyayah is this Khandika is like more like breaking or insulting or putting down in that sense. So maybe this Upadhyaya is a strict person, say for example. He is always criticizing or, the students. So he is called Khandikopadhyayah. Shishyaya Chapetam Dadati. Chapetam is a slapping on the face. So here the Dhatvartha kim Sanyogarupam Phalam Tadanukula Vyaparascha. So here Chapetam Dadati. So here Dadati is used, but is it really a Danakriya?
No, not at all.
Not at all.
No.
Here, Sanyoga Rupam Phalam. So here Chapetam can happen only by the Sanyoga. Chapetam Dadati. So here this Dadati Kriya, you can say that it has been accomplished only when the teacher's hand touches the student's cheek. Only then you can say Chapetam Dadati. That Kriya has happened. That is why Sanyoga Rupam Phalam is given. Tadanukula Vyaparascha. Kriyashrayah Khandikopadhyayah Karta. So the Upadhyayah is the Karta. Now the Chapeta. Okay, Nama Prasrita Karatalam. So means the hand that is stretched out, right? The slapping, the touching of the hand. Sanyoga Rupam Phalam Chapetayam. So this Sanyogam happens where? In the Chapeta, in the slap. On the slap and that Sanyoga Rupam Ashrayam is there only in the Chapeta. Ataha Chapeta Karma Bhavati. Karma Bhutaya Chapetaya Kam Sambandhum Abhipraiti. Towards whom is this action of Chapeta is directed?
Shishyaya.
Karma Bhutaya Chapetaya Shishyam Abhisambandhum Abhipraiti. Ataha Shishyaha Sampradanam. Karma Bhuta Chapeta Shishyam Khalu Adhigachati. Ataha Saha Sampradanam. Okay. So here, what I wanted to say is, 1 second. So here, though Dadati is used, though the Kriyapadam Dadati is used, it is not exactly a Danakriya. It is not exactly a Danakriya. But even then, we look at it as the action is directed towards the Shishya and the Shishya gets the Sampradana. Okay. There is another example where, for example, Pita Putraya Patram Likhati. Pita Putraya Patram Likhati. So here the action is Likhati. It is not Da Dhatu, it is not Danakriya also. But Putraya is still Sampradana Karakam. Why? Because we said, like I said above, where it is directed, the action Yavarini Uddesinchi Kriya. Kam Uddishya Kriya Bhavati Tat Sampradanam Bhavati. That is one way. Okay. So here, Danakriya. Wait.
అందుకే ఈ సంప్రదానాన్ని దానక్రియ అనుకోకపోవడమే మంచిదేమోనండి. సంప్రదానం ఆల్వేస్ దానక్రియ కాదు కదా.
Not always. Not always. So for that also there are a couple of seeing where it is.
కొడుకుకు ఉత్తరం రాశాడు.
అవును, correct. So
We can
here,
say it
here
has
we have,
first
I would
law.
like to, I would like to mention two things here. So, swatva nivritti purvakam paraswatpotpadanam danam. So, so basically that which is yours and which you are giving away to somebody, the ownership, when it is passed, then you call that as a danam. Okay. And then sampradanam happens. As per the sutra, sampradanam means where danam is happening, where we are not expecting something which is given back in return. In that sense, it is used. But so as per them, as per that vrittikaraha, this is given as per some vrittikaraha. As per them, this pita putraya patram likhati, for them, they don't accept that. Instead of putraya, they might prefer putram. Pita putram patram likhati, according to them. But according to bhashyam, phalashraya karma kasmai tat pratipadikam sampradana sanyam prapnoti. So the phalashraya karma, for whom is it intended?
Putra.
That will get sampradanam, according to bhashyam. Okay, according to Mahabhashyam, that will get sampradana karakam. So, according to Bhashyam, Pita Putraya Patram Likhati is Shuddham. Okay, but some Vrittikaraha may not agree with it because they believe that this is not a Dana Kriya. So, the Sampradanam should not be used. So, they will write it as Pita Putram Patram Likhati. So
that,
what we have to understand is both are fine.
so
Okay?
that is the reason Sampradanam has a wide meaning, not only Dana Kriya, it has a wide reading.
Correct.
Depends upon the examples. Yeah.
Correct. Now there is
Bhagini.
another sentence where we have
भगिनी प्रश्न अस्ति अत्र sampradana, that is to give something, okay,
Yes.
without any expectation. But suppose say I give you some gift and you give me in return some gift. Say for example, Christmas time we both exchanged a great gift or something. So we both did some kind of sampradanam to each other. So what does it consider as?
Yeah.
Sampradanam. Sampradanam only.
So then if in the Guru Shishra udaharan is not a very good udaharan here, but say for example between the two person, one person gives a chapeta and second person comes and gives a reverse chapeta. So between them
that is also Sampradanam,
right?
Yeah, see, that is what we are saying here. It need not be only a dana kriya, that action towards which that karma, through the karma, okay, with that karma, that action towards whom you are intending, whom you are intending, that will get the sampradana karakam, sampradana sanya. So whether you give chapeta to somebody and they give chapeta to you, both actions, in the first action, that other person will become sampradanam. In the second action, you will become the sampradhanam.
So in this case, the person who receives is the fourth vibhakti, right? In that particular word, which should be has a fourth vibhakti.
Yes, the sampradhanam, the word which is identified as a sampradhana karakam will get chaturthi vibhakti. We'll come to the vibhakti parts later. But for now, we will simply say that word will get the sampradhana sanya.
Astu Bhagini, dhanyavad.
Here,
So,
madam,
yes.
chapetam is the vyapara and phala is shishyaya. Phalam, who gets phala is shishyaya. Actually, vyapara is chapeta.
Actually, chapeta vyapara is the teacher raising his hand, bringing it close to the student's cheek and all that. And chapeta, the phalam is the sanyoga. When the teacher's hand touches, only when the hand touches the cheek, you call it the phalam. The phalam is obtained.
No. Phalam, the experience got out of chapeta, the shishya are getting. That is the phalam, madam. Phalam actually
that action is directed
who experiences. Shishyas are experiencing chapeta.
Correct. 1 second, Mahodaya. So when, what does chapeta mean? What does chapeta mean? It is a sanyoga. It is a sanyoga, right? Only when the sanyoga happens, you say chapeta has happened.
Yeah.
So what is the phalam here? Sanyogam.
Samyogam may not be a phalam. In case of, with reference to the Shishyaya, Samyoga is not a phalam, madam. Shishyaya, they experiencing the feeling of chapeta. Because they got furious. వాళ్ళకి అనుభవం అయింది దెబ్బ, వాళ్ళు they are feeling. That is the phalam.
The action is directed towards the shishya, and the sanyoga, that phalam is in chapeta.
Yeah. They got the phalam through chapeta.
So that is why chapeta becomes the karma padam, and the shishya becomes the sampradana. Because the action giving the chapeta is directed towards the shishya.
Yeah, correct.
It is a little different than gam dadati. Giving a vastu.
Veil is there, madam. See, very difficult to understand the Sanskrit. Naiva klista nachakatina ani dimpar indloki. Katiname.
Yeah. So here, let us look at another sentence. Rajakaya vastram dadati. Now here, Rajaka means a washerman. When the lady gives the washerman clothes for him to take, like a dana kriya, then Rajakaya vastram dadati is fine, because she gave him as a gift and she is not expecting it back. Now say, for example, she is giving him clothes to wash. So it is not like she's not expecting them back. She is expecting them back. Okay, then how do we say? Can we still say Rajakaya vastram dadati? As per bhashyam, we can still say Rajakaya vastram dadati. Because the action of giving is directed toward the Rajaka. So Mata Rajakaya vastram dadati. Though here it is not a proper dana kriya, we can still say, as per bhashyam, we can still say towards whom this action is diverted, through the karma, with the karma. So vastram dadati. So this action of giving away the vastram is directed towards Rajaka. So we can still say, though it is not a proper dana kriya, we can still use Rajakaya vastram dadati. As per the vrittikaraha, Rajakasya vastram dadati. Rajakasya. Here Shashti Vibhakti is used. Where no other Karaka applies, where no other Vibhakti applies, we normally use Shashti.
Where is the phalam here?
Phalam is
expected in future date.
In vastram only it is there.
Yeah, vastram, but it is not intended. No immediate phalam in this case.
Yes, immediate phalam. It is like tandulam pachati.
No. After washing those clothes, and the owner will get the phalam when the dhobi is returning the back to the vastra.
So here, actually, 1 second, Mahodaya. So you are talking about after the washing is over, the fresh clothes will be given back to the mother.
Yeah.
But now we are talking about the dirty clothes being given to the washerman.
Okay.
So here, dadati means to give. That action of giving, that the phalam of that is in vastram only. So here we are only taking the first part of the intention of the mother. So when she is giving the dirty clothes to the washerman, we are not considering about she receiving the fresh clothes back. That will come in a different sentence.
Yeah. That is true. But the phalam itself is the giving action itself is a phalam.
The giving is an action where you pick it up and put it in somebody's hand. That is the vyapara.
That is vyapara. The phalam.
After you put in his hands, that is the phalam. So that what do you call that? Sthapanam.
We can say in English, transfer, ma'am. Transfer. Change,
that-
change
Transferring
change
the
of
clothes
ownership.
to in a washerman's hand, how it will be a phalam, madam? I am a little
See,
doubt.
here,
It is
dadati
the
kriya padam that is used.
It
Okay.
is the phalam for the kriya, not for the washerman.
పొందుతున్నాడు కదనండి, వాషర్మెన్ పొందుతున్నాడు కదా.
క్రియాయాః ఫలం క్రియాయాః వ్యాపారం.
Hmm.
It is like that. It is nothing to do with the.
So here sthapana rupam phalam. That is the phalam, sthapana rupam. So once she puts it in his hands, the phalam has been attained.
That's it. That's it.
Okay.
Exactly.
We have to consider like this. Okay. Yes.
We can call it transfer instead of sampradanam includes transfer also, not only giving.
And what is the vyapara then?
Vyapara is
The action.
for her to put it in his hands. What are all the steps that she did? She
Okay,
first had
from-
to walk to the
from
clothes. They are
Point 1 to point 10. Point 1 to point 10 were the immediate intermittent works are vyapara.
Correct. For any kriya. See, when we say tandulam pachati, did the rice cooking happen in just one step?
No, not at all. There are several points.
Similarly, in
Point 1,
dadati
point 2,
also,
point 3.
of course, there they are more clear, like lighting the fire, putting the vessel, those are more clear. But here in dana kriya, you feel that it is just putting how much of vyapara can be there. But there also, you lifting your hand, taking the
Fraction of
going to
seconds.
where the clothes are there, folding them, putting them in a bag, bringing that bag to the rajaka, putting it in his hand. All these can be considered as dana kriyayaha vyaparaha.
So here we should not consider phalam as a phalam, the result. It is the outcome of the action.
Yeah, phalam is always.
మేము ఇంతవరకు ఏమనుకుంటున్నాం, ఫలం అంటే ఒక రిజల్ట్ వస్తుంది, ఒక క్రియ జరగడం వల్ల, ఒక వ్యాపారం జరగడం వల్ల ఒక రిజల్ట్ వస్తుంది. ఇట్ ఇస్ రిజల్ట్ ఈస్ నాట్ ఎ ఫలం ఎట్ ఆల్. The end point of a vyapara is phalam.
Yes.
End point. There is no other vyapara than that.
Yes.
After that point, there is no vyapara at all. That is the phalam.
So one thing, when the mother gives the clothes to the washerman, we all know that she is expecting fresh clothes back.
Of course, that is the second part. That is second part, madam.
Correct, exactly. That we have to recover. She
Yeah.
did not receive the fresh clothes. How can we think that the phalam is achieved?
No. Here, that is second. In the second aspect, the washerman again comes to the owner's house and returns to the clothes to the owner. Then again, the sampradana karaka kriya is there.
Yes, correct.
Again, yeah. And there is again vyapara, again phalam, again karma. All are there.
Sampradana.
Okay, yes, understood. Thank you very much.
भगिनी, एकवारं तेलुगु भाषायां फल व्यापार भेदः तेलुगु भाषायां एकवारं विवृता भगिनी.
సో వ్యాపారః అంటే ఒక పని, ఒక క్రియ చేసేటప్పుడు ఇన్వాల్వ్ అయిన స్టెప్స్. ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఖాదన క్రియ ఉంది అంటే ఏంటి, మీరు ముందు ఒక ప్లేట్ పెట్టుకుంటారు, అందులో అన్నం వడ్డించుకుంటారు, కూర వడ్డించుకుంటారు, చేత్తో కలుపుతారు, ఆ ముద్దను తీసి నోట్లో పెట్టుతారు, నములుతారు, మింగుతారు. ఇవన్నీ వ్యాపార, ఇవన్నీ కలిపి మనం వ్యాపారం అంటాం. ఫలం ఏంటంటే ఫైనల్ గా మనము మింగడం, అది ఖాదన క్రియాయాః వ్యాపారః ఫలం. ఓకేనా? సో అట్లా ప్రతి క్రియాపదానికి వ్యాపారము ఉంటుంది, ఫలము ఉంటుంది. ఇక్కడ దదాతి క్రియాకి వ్యాపారం ఏంటి, మనం ఒక వస్తువు ఇంకొకళ్ళకి ఇద్దాం అనుకున్నప్పుడు ఆ వస్తువు ఎక్కడుందో అక్కడి నుంచి తీయాలి, దాన్ని చేత్తో పట్టుకుని లేపాలి, ఆ మనిషి దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళాలి, వాళ్ళ చేతిలో పెట్టాలి. స్థాపన రూప ఫలం. అప్పుడు వాళ్ళ చేతిలో పెట్టినట్లయితే అప్పుడు అది ఫలం పూర్తయినట్టు లెక్క.
అన్నం ఉడకడము వ్యాపారం అనుకుంటే మొదటి 5 నిమిషాల్లో ఉడుకుదా అనుకుంటే మొదటి నిమిషము, 2వ నిమిషము, 3వ నిమిషము, 5 నిమిషం ఇవన్నీ కూడా వ్యాపార కిందికి వస్తాయి మేడం కదా. అంతే కదా.
అవన్నీ వస్తాయి ముందరవి కూడా ప్రిపరేషన్ కూడా
అది కూడా వస్తుంది.
వాషింగ్ ద రైస్, లైటింగ్ ద ఫైర్, ఆల్ ఎవ్రీథింగ్, ఎనీ యాక్షన్ ఇన్వాల్వ్డ్ టువర్డ్స్ అచీవింగ్ ద
విక్లిప్ అంటే నేను అవన్నీ ఎందుకు కన్సిడర్ చేయట్లేదు అంటే విక్లిప్త అన్నారు కదా, అంటే ఉడకడం అంటే పచనమైన కార్యక్రమమే అది ఫలం అనుకుంటే అది ఆ రైస్ కి ఒక్కటే సంబంధించింది వస్తుంది అనుకుంటున్నాను. అంటే ఇవి కూడా పరోక్షంగా ఇవి కూడా కారణమే, కానీ మనకు అవుట్కమ్ పచనం కావడం మాత్రమే అక్కడ మనము ఫలం అనుకుంటే, ఆ పచనానికి ఫస్ట్ పాయింట్ బియ్యం వేసిన దగ్గర నుంచి 5 నిమిషాలు ఉడుకుతా అనుకుంటే అవన్నీ వ్యాపార కిందికి వస్తాయి అనుకుంటున్నాను.
కరెక్ట్. కాకపోతే మీరు నీళ్లు పోయడం కూడా వ్యాపారమే, మీరు నీళ్లు పోయడం కూడా వ్యాపారమే.
నీరు పోయింది అంటే మిగతా మీరు ఫైర్, లైటింగ్, స్టవ్, బియ్యము, సంచిని తేవడానికి కూడా ఇండైరెక్ట్ గా వ్యాపార కిందికి వస్తాయి. కానీ విక్లిప్త అన్నారు చూసారా మీరు, విక్లిప్త అంటే డైరెక్ట్ గా ఉడకడం మాత్రమే. రా రైస్ కి పచ్చన రైస్ కి డిఫరెన్స్ ఇస్ ద వ్యాపార.
కరెక్ట్. కానీ మీరు ఆ పొయ్యి వెలిగించటం కూడా దీంట్లో వ్యాపారం కిందకే వస్తుంది.
ఆఫ్ కోర్స్ అది అయితే, అది లేకపోతే ఇది కాదు కదా.
కరెక్ట్.
అది లేకపోతే ఇది కానే కాదు. అట్లా అంటే ఇంకా చాలా ఉంటాయి, చాలా తీసుకురావచ్చు. మైన్యూట్ థింగ్స్ కూడా వస్తాయి వ్యాపార కిందకి.
కరెక్ట్.
చాలా థింగ్స్.
సో అది సంప్రదానంలో మనము సంప్రదానం అంటే కేవలం దానక్రియ. ఇట్ ఈస్ నాట్ జస్ట్ ద దానక్రియ, బట్ ఎనీథింగ్ దట్ ఈస్ when the action with the karma is directed towards whom, that will get the sampradana karakam. We'll study more about the sampradana karakam again in next class. Any questions? No chet shanti mantram. Anyone?
सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. ओम शांति शांति शांतिः. धन्यवाद भगिनी. नमस्कारः सर्वेभ्यः. नमस्कारः. शुभरात्रि.
धन्यवाद.